Hey guys, thanks again for joining me for another episode of Cocktails with Key. I am your girl Kimberly, and we are back at it. It's another Wednesday. Can you believe it? Like really? But first, before I start, let me say something. Shay, I am loving this red lip gloss. This is my new go-to. So my girl Teonna is going to be joining us. Okay, she's one of my teammates. Hey, so I'm going to add her. She's And we're going to get this party started. Hey, Nineveh, what's up? How's it going? Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. I'm trying to get this together. Thank you for joining me. I know you were a little under the weather yesterday, so I
Yes.
appreciate your time and your effort of joining. Hi, Kedrick. Hi,
No
Kedrick.
problem. I got my cocktail in
Okay, so
blue.
of course this is Cocktails with Key. Tell us, what are you drinking, Teonna?
I have some cupcake Moscato.
Okay. Now, the brand cupcake. Okay, yes. Okay, I thought it maybe
Yes, the
kind of
brand
had
cupcake.
a flavor of cupcake. I was like, ooh, let me try that. But when you
I
said
wish, but
Moscato,
it's
that
really
is to
good
me.
though.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Mm. Well, of course, I can't go wrong with a little bit of rosé prosecco. That's what I'm drinking. But I'm so glad you're able to join me. I wanted everybody to have the opportunity to get a little bit of the knowledge that you have about business credit and corporate housing. And you've got some amazing, exciting news, as suggested and strongly encouraged by our broker, Kedrick Mallory. He told you, you got something here, girl. You need to go ahead and package this and put this in a course. And
He
of course,
did.
several of us within the brokerage have already purchased your course, and we are working through it right now. I myself as well. So let's talk a little bit about your course, and don't give too much of it away because they need to buy the course.
Of course. So, yes, Kedrick came up with the idea. He was saying, we were just talking about it, and I was telling him all the different stuff, and he was like, "You have to package it." So I decided to call it Corporate Housing Boss. Because we're bosses and we're going to tackle this thing.
Right.
Especially with us being realtors, it really goes hand in hand, especially now with the market the way that it is. It's a great opportunity for sellers to sell their homes, but where are they going?
Right.
You know, Most of the time they need to sell before they can buy. There's not a lot of inventory out there. So they're going to stay with family, they're staying at hotels, or they're asking the buyer to rent the home that they're selling,
That is so true.
45,
Yes.
60 days. And that is an opportunity for us realtors to step in and say, hey, I have a solution. I have short-term rentals or corporate housing available for you to stay until we can find your next house.
Absolutely. No, it's a great idea. And let me say this. I know that there's a huge trend. And I'm not going to say it's not profitable. But I do have some people that I've known personally that have dibble and dabbled into Airbnbs, and some of them have made money and some have not, because of they're getting they're getting a lot of restrictions
Right.
with some of the different properties, and it just depends on where you're trying to start your Airbnb. Let's just say that there are
And
some.
your what you want to provide and who you're targeting,
True.
because that's another thing. I definitely stay away from saying I have an Airbnb or I have an Airbnb business, because Airbnb is a platform. They're their
Yes.
own business. And like last year during quarantine, they canceled 100% of everybody's reservations. So all those people that had Airbnb businesses had no business at that point. So that is why I strongly promote setting up a corporate housing company, marketing your company and utilizing that platform if you need to, but also expanding and marketing yourself, getting direct bookings, which is very, very important.
Right.
And touching on what you were saying as far as like the restrictions and everything else, I focus on 30-day plus stays. So that is not restricted. I'm able to talk to the complexes, tell them what I'm doing. I'm a realtor here. I have clients that come in and stay for 30 or more days. And this is what I do. So I can go into the office. My clients can go, my guests can go into the property management office.
Full transparency.
Why?
Yes.
So I'm not up at night like, oh my gosh, is somebody going to go and do this and do that? No, I don't need that.
Yes, yes. Well, and there's been such a negative association with the Airbnbs.
Mhm.
There have been some party houses that are shutting down, and let's just be real. A lot of people who sometimes may be using that platform for short-term rentals, they don't care what they do to the property. And at least, in most cases, I feel with corporate housing, you're not going to have that type of clientele.
Right, because nobody's going to pay, you know, $2,500 to stay somewhere for 30 days to mess it up. Plus, we're always going to get that deposit.
Right, right. We have a little bit of recourse, a little bit more recourse. Let's say that. A little
Yes,
bit
we're
more
definitely
recourse.
going to get deposits, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to accept everybody either, because you have
True.
to talk to these people. Because especially now as well, we had the eviction moratorium that came up, so it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people right now looking for housing. So you
Right.
don't want to accept everybody that has the money to pay, because you don't
And be
know what
extremely
type of guest you're
selective.
getting.
I love that. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, so be selective. Decide, like, okay, I want to work with traveling professionals. That
Mm-hmm.
can be
Mm-hmm.
nurses, IT people, or anybody, because now everybody's working from home. So
Right.
you have a
And
lot
that's
more
probably
business
a
travelers.
huge need. I would imagine that's probably a huge need right now with COVID still, with numbers still rising in certain areas, that could be a huge need for a traveling nurse.
Oh, yeah, traveling nurses are booming right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing when you're looking for your property, get near a hospital or a surgical center. Make sure you're within 10, 15 miles of one, because then you can put that in your listing and say, I'm within 15 miles of this hospital.
Right, right. And that's,
And if you're
I
lucky,
can
you
only
might be
imagine
close
that's
to
very
two.
attractive. Yeah, that's a very attractive selling point to someone who is relocating or moving to an area for, a short amount of time. Because I know initially when COVID at its height, and it was surging like crazy, there were a lot of nurses that left the South and went and worked in New York because they were paying this crazy amount of money. And think about it, it's expensive as crap to live in New York, let alone if you had someone that had these type of resources, that how that could have helped so many different people.
Oh, yeah. And now it's a new trend amongst nurses where you have full-time nurses that are now quitting their local jobs to become travel nurses, because they're seeing, hey, I'm here working and I'm making this per hour, but there are people coming in from out of town who are making triple what I'm making doing the
Right,
same thing.
right, right, right. No, I mean it definitely makes sense. There's a demand for it, so why not put
Yeah,
yourself?
and it's even with COVID now, not just with nurses, but patients, because
Mhm.
now your family can't go in there if you're having a procedure. Even if you have to stay in the hospital for a number of days, they can only be in there one person at a time for a limited amount of time.
Mhm.
So they need a place to stay close by the facility to make sure their family member is taken care of.
That's true. That is true. Because our mom is in a facility, and unfortunately, my mom had a stroke about a month and a half ago. And of
Oh, I'm
course,
sorry to
we're
hear
from
that.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. But you're right. Of course, we live close. I can drive to Tennessee and drive back. And I do have family that lives there, but you're right. If you have a loved one that is in the hospital and they're there for an extended amount of time, and you don't want to stay in a hotel, you want something that's a little bit more familiar, home that feels more like home. Definitely, corporate housing could definitely be an option for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
because with the hotel, what are you getting? A studio size room
Mm-hmm.
that may or may not have a full kitchen. But
Right.
if you're in a hotel, you're not going grocery shopping because you're
No.
not going to cook. So,
No.
a furnished apartment provides you a full size kitchen, full bedroom, your home. This is your second home for the time
Right.
being.
Right.
And, it also provides amenities that you wouldn't get in a hotel.
Right.
Different,
Right.
yeah, and
Right.
you're more comfortable and you feel like you can stay longer versus paying, extended stays now or anywhere from 3,500 a month to four
I can
thousand
only
dollars a month.
imagine. I mean, because I would think it would probably be close to maybe $1,000 or maybe a week.
It's somewhere around there, yeah. And people are paying that, and that's what a lot of business owners don't understand. They're like, I couldn't get somebody to pay, $2,000 for this apartment or $3,000 for this apartment when they're paying that for a hotel room, because they
Mm-hmm.
have to, and they don't have
Right.
any other options. So if
Right.
you
Right.
provide another option for them, the sky's the limit. But you have to make sure that you stay up on your service. Like, especially now more than ever, cleanliness is at the top of the list for
Oh, yes, for sure.
everything. And especially if you are doing 30-day or more stays, these guests are staying longer, which means instead of having a regular cleaning, you need a deep cleaning at the end. You need your cleaners going in amongst the regular, common sense things that they need to clean.
For
They need to be
sure.
cleaning the baseboards. Get the
Absolutely,
get the
yeah.
Clorox wipes, clean the baseboards, clean off the light
The
switches.
ceiling fans,
Yes,
everything.
ceiling fans,
Change out
the
the filter, the air
outlets.
filter.
You'll be surprised how many fingerprints are around the outlets because people want, this is still not their place, even if they're paying more. So they have makeup, they're touching their face, touching their outlets, pulling their chargers out. Make sure everything is wiped down, and as well as the cabinets. In between the cabinets, when you grab the knob,
Oh,
make sure
yeah.
that's wiped down. That's some things that people don't think about, and it's really important because you will get those guests that come that pay attention to everything.
Oh, absolutely. Very detail oriented. Now, one
Yep.
of the things I think that is really important about your course is that you offer a very detailed list of how to build your business credit. And especially for us all to be self-employed as realtors and brokers and people out there, in IG land, you do not have to depend on your personal credit a lot. Let me say this. You don't have to depend on your personal credit as much when you are transitioning to your business credit. And it takes a while to build that up. So I don't want you to think that you can just have an LLC and then tomorrow you can go buy a car for $100,000. There is a process there is a method to this madness. And what I love about what you offer is that you have provided a detailed list of how to do this. There are tiers, there is a process, and it works. You've proven that it works. So for everybody that is interested in building your business credit, it is worth it to pay for her course. Even if you decided not to go into corporate housing, it is worth it for you to build your business credit and get her course. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yeah, because you have, starting businesses, being entrepreneurs is nothing new. We've been doing it forever, right? But no one has really taught us about business credit. It's always, okay, let me put this on my personal credit card. That's how you hear so much about the commingling of funds and doing this and doing that. But there is business credit that will not report on your personal credit. Even if you do have to be a personal guarantee, it's not going to show up on your personal credit report or affect your personal debt to income ratio, which we know in real estate is very important.
Very important, very important. And you really want to divide the two. I know that a lot of times that, sometimes as entrepreneurs and we're self-employed, we don't really think about it at the moment. But if you have the opportunity, just go ahead and extract your personal credit out of the equation and work towards the business credit, because I'm telling you, in the long run, it will be so much more beneficial to you. It really, truly will.
Yeah, so, because even if you want to get a corporate apartment, why are you paying for it? You should not have to spend $1 of your own money. And that's for anything.
Absolutely.
Because how I do it, well, one, you're going to get the business credit. And that's not to say to put everything on credit, but utilize it, because that gives you 30 to 45 days to then get income in to pay for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, I wanted to address, someone had a question. Dorsey Ferguson.
So she said, how often do you have the cleaners come for the 30-day or more stays? So I don't have a cleaner come during the stay. So it's always going to be after. So for prime example, I had a guest that stayed with me from June 28th, and she just left December 1st.
Wow, really?
Yes. So she's been there. She was actually a teacher working from home, teaching virtually on Zoom. I'm not sure, what type of teacher she was, but I just know she was a teacher. She left the place in good condition. However, it still has to be deep clean. So when she left, she'd been there about 6 months. I had a cleaner come and do a deep cleaning. We changed out bedding, threw away all the pillows. I'm a firm believer, every 6 months, whether you're doing short or longer stays, change that stuff out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially if you're having multiple people on, just throw it away. Pillows are cheap. You
I
can
agree.
get the hotel quality pillows at Sam's Club, 2 for $20. Go get you
Right,
some.
right.
um,
It's so inexpensive. It's so
yeah.
inexpensive.
I changed the whole bedding, shower curtains. What else? The shower curtain liners.
Oh,
Now I like to
absolutely.
get the shower
I'm
curtains that
changing
are
my
fabric.
liner every freaking 4 weeks, probably. I'm horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they really get bad. Like the liners, they're plastic. Throw them out. Get the
And it's just a
fabric
couple of
shower
bucks.
curtains if you
It's just
want.
a
You can
couple of
wash
bucks.
the shower curtain, but get rid of
Mm-hmm.
the liners. But yeah, so at the end of every stay, we have the cleaners come. And you can, if you want an added service, you can have them get cleanings throughout their stay and just upcharge whatever the cleaning company is going to charge you.
Gotcha. Okay, so I know that you have so much more information that you could offer everybody. And I know that we could talk about this for a good 30, 45 minutes. But I just want to say that I am so excited that you are offering this. And listen, people, I think mostly everybody that has probably tuned in right now, if I'm mistaken, you're self-employed. So you need to utilize this course. You definitely need to reach out to her. She's tagged in the post on my page. Please reach out to her and purchase her course. Invest in yourself. That's what I'm going to tell you. Invest in yourself. Because if you don't invest in yourself, who the hell is?
Right. And that's something that's important that I learned this year is that you can't get anywhere unless you invest in yourself. And that doesn't necessarily always mean spending money either. It's taking the time out, listening to podcasts, which are free, going on YouTube, watching either the virtual podcast or just watching videos that are also free, and just getting that knowledge, because you never know what you don't know till you know it.
Right. Absolutely. So, yes. So
but yeah, you
Teonna.
can definitely check me out on Instagram. I am at Homes by Teonna. The link to my course is in my bio. If you have any questions, you can feel free to DM me or reach out and follow me for free info.
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to give you a virtual cheers. I give everyone a virtual cheers at the end of each episode. Thank you again for joining me, Teonna. I appreciate it. You know, I always feel like I always say to myself, like, Teonna knows so much.
That's because I'm addicted to education. Like,
no, but I know, but I'm just saying I couldn't believe that when I even reached out to you, I was like, I need to have you on again. You was like, I haven't been on before. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why haven't I had you on before? So thank you again for taking time out of your day. I know how it is. And I am very much appreciative, and cheers. Okay. Until next time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Bye.
Bye, guys.